Hey, Max here. Welcome to Movie Madness Entertainment. And this is a reaction video. Help me on my journey to react to everything or as much as I can. I can't react to everything. But this is a reaction of Superman Kills Kaiju, which I just found out on X. My pal, shout out to Aaron Fischer, my review. He's taken the bait from a toy commercial. Does Hasbro or Mattel know something about the Superman movie? Are they leaking plot points from the Superman movie? Does Superman kill kaiju? That's what I want to find out. And to be fair, James Gunn did not debunk it. Oh, you gun nuts that are saying James Gunn debunked it. No, he didn't debunk it. He did the James Gunn thing in a very James Gunn way. And honestly, I don't know if spilling the kaiju's guts necessarily kills him. I don't know much about this weird kaiju. I don't know how the origins of this kaiju either. Callie, don't be doing that when I'm on a video. Okay, so this is how I found out about this, and this goes to a friend, you know who you are, that wanted me to do some reactions again. This is Superman from the toy commercial. And I've been saying that that the toys from Superman have been pretty legit. It has some of that toyetic that I got from the old Kenner Star Wars Kenner stuff, like with the Hoth and speaking of Hoth, does Superman kill what's the creature from Hoth? A Wampa. Does Superman also kill a Wampa, or does he just rip off his arm like a Wookiee? Does that happen in Superman? Because I see a toy commercial with a toy box with Superman ripping off a Wampa's arm and then punching a kaiju in the guts and his guts spilling out does not necessarily mean that I think this is going to happen in the film. What should it happen in the film? I kind of want to see it now, honestly. So someone asks, in James Gunn, I'm not letting you off the hook either, because you've been spending too much time on social media. He's correcting the haters discussing about multicasting actors for multiple roles, and I don't have that ready to go because this is all about killing kaiju. All right, so let me bring that down here. And then someone did the meme about the SJW crying, which is, that's fair. I wouldn't have done this to you, Aaron. I would like you for an interview. I wouldn't have done this to you, Aaron. This is across the board, across the line.
It shows that they are going to kill this kaiju.
They're going to kill this kaiju? Now I'm going to react to not the whole video, but the beginning of the video.
It shows that they are going to kill this kaiju. And I said, Superman is going to kill the kaiju.
Superman's going to kill the kaiju. This is great.
Man doesn't kill. Isn't that what?
It's okay. It's, you could kill, the role. Okay, we're playing by these roles. He's doing the people, the gun nuts the portion of the gun nuts that don't like the Snyderverse that constantly say Superman doesn't kill. It's okay for superheroes in like Star Wars to kill droids, other creatures, but when they're human form, that's when it's not okay to kill. You could kill other living beings or sentient beings, or droids or things like that, but you can't kill people. You can't kill humanoids, That's what you can't kill. You could kill Brainiac. You could kill... Well, you couldn't kill another Kryptonian because they're too much like humans. So that's the weird roles that people put that box Zack Snyder's universe in. Although there's been many different versions of Superman over the years, many different comics that I didn't read. Okay, so let me actually bring up Aaron's video now. I can't wait. And I can't wait for this specific topic here. This is going to be great. Superman is a killer in the new film. Now, to be fair, he is triggering a lot of people with this take, I'm sure. All right. Which way should I do this here? I guess I'll do that. All right, let's react to Aaron. Turn up the volume.
All right, everybody. I am back
with the DC update.
DC update.
Yes.
And yes, I promised you another update after yesterday's update. And boy, this
I'd be surprised if you didn't have a DC update. I would be surprised if you didn't have a DC update. Now, I will say this. If Aaron took the bait on the toy commercial and thinking it's legit and this is a plot point in the movie, that's fine. It's not as bad as when Axel Braun, that Korn parody guy, Korn, suggested that a certain Korn actor was being hired as Lex Luthor, and Aaron took the bait because he believes a lot of things on the internet. That's fine. Lots of people do. I still like you, Aaron. He believed that James Gunn, because he likes the jokey jokes, would hire a Korn actor. And you know what? I don't shame people in the industry. I wouldn't be opposed to them if they can act their butt off in an audition. I'd be fine with that. You know. All right. Let's hear this.
This one might be a long one, even after I did the video yesterday to make sure you guys weren't watching like a 45-minute video. Because as soon as I got done with my video yesterday, some more information came out about the Superman movie. Some of this includes like the runtime and some changes that are being made. And
this will be spoiler warning for you if you really want to know nothing about the Superman movie. Some leaks, and according to a source I have, suggests that you shouldn't be concerned with the kaiju being killed because I hear Superman talks to the kaiju nicely. If you like superhero movies, the biggest comparison would be like Avengers Age of Ultron, where Natasha talks down the Hulk and talks down the kaiju instead of punching him in the gut and killing him, is what I've heard. Is the way Superman handles the kaiju. Because the kaiju may be a baby kaiju. You know, he might have grown up with the kaiju and he's trying to talk him down. You don't want to kill the kaiju, especially if he's a baby kaiju. You never do that don't do that.
It's just funny because James Gunn swore him and Peter Safran were the studio and that all the changes were made by them and that he is the final say. And that is apparently not true. And I think anybody who has
I don't know what
been following Warner Brothers for the last 50 years knows that this is not true.
Oh, I agree with them there. Like people that say trust in Gunn, and that Gunn's going to do whatever he wants. Ultimately, it comes down to Zaslav, and I do not think that Zaslav's going to be fair if this does not meet Zaslav's expectations. I do not think he's going to be fair to the Gunverse. I think it's going to be brutal, and I don't want that to happen.
I'd say it and want it to be true, but it's simply not. And before we get into all these materials, I would add to that I believe that the studios should leave the filmmakers alone. Yes. I honestly believe that James Gunn should be releasing the film that he wanted to make.
Cool.
It's all
I agree
on
with
him.
you. Yeah.
Now there's been so much studio involvement that there are going to be people calling for the gun cut. It's going to happen.
Yes,
but let's take a look at the screen grabs that I've made.
Release the gun cut. I could get behind that.
First up today is a photo that was taken with Jim Lee and Zack Snyder.
I hope this.
And look at how happy both of these guys look.
Yeah.
And if you look back at the photo that Gunn took with Zack Snyder probably about 3 months ago or so,
I do hope that this leads to something. It could be nothing. It could be something. Don't read too much into it, and don't throw this away either as a nothing burger. It could lead to something for sure. It will be amazing. These are two very talented people. And I hope that when Zach does this 300 series, he hits it out of the park because he could use a huge win. He hasn't got outside his bubble of fans since the Snyder Cut was released, I don't believe. And he has had a history where he's reached mainstream audiences. I don't think he's a mainstream director after the release of Snyder Cut. We'll see what happens with 300 and that UFC film.
It tells a whole different story. These guys look truly happy and know that Jim Lee is a big person down there at DC, and it's kind of curious as to why these guys were hanging out for the whole day. In fact, Zack Snyder did post about this meeting and said that they were hanging out for the day. And why is that? It should be interesting if you notice that Zack Snyder has a camera. So there was definitely something going on. So
he always has.
It's interesting. What do you guys think is happening? Something is definitely happening. What is turkey
with them?
Also, they are going full blown with the crypto tie-in for Superman. Now, I personally would not feed my dog this poison.
What?
In fact, we're probably.
Why? Are you okay? Are you a now? If you're generally, I'm trying to figure out if he's generally not liking mass-produced dog food because of the processing of these dog food, or if it's because it's James Gunn related. I'm trying to figure that out. Maybe he just has a thing against these mass-produced pet products, which I get it. I understand.
Probably going to get another dog this weekend, and I'm getting prepped for that. But I would never feed my dogs anything like these. These are not good for dogs at all. They did a tie-in with Superman, and you can see it's only the top boxes that are like that. The other ones are regular. So the banner's pretty cool, the header of the palette. But they've got full-on promotions going now.
Yeah.
Now, this also definitely goes to show that Gunn is not telling us the truth. He said Peacemaker Season 2 will include many characters from Superman and the entire DCU, confirms James Gunn. There might even be one really, really, really big cameo near the end of the show. Cameo porn, people. Cameo porn.
Now, I think Aaron actually has a point, and I've seen James. This is what I was going to talk about. James Gunn goes too far to correct people. I think this is a slight L for James Gunn because he was super aggressive on cameo corn that other superhero movies do. And you know what? I think he does it too, which is fine by me. I like that stuff. But to suggest when he does it, it's not cameo corn, but when other directors do it, it is. That is throwing shade at other directors. And he does the same thing. I think he does it better than most directors. But he should be called out for this. And James Gunn, of course, goes too far to try to correct the people. When I do it, it's very thought out, and it's not just to get extra money or views on the product. It's all thought out. Everything makes sense when I do it. Or I don't know what his angle would be, but he should be called out for this. And I think he should have just taken it and ignored it instead of responding.
Which James Gunn himself said would not be part of the DCU. He said it's done too much in the industry, and they weren't going to do that.
You also can't take him so stringent and literal on everything, though, either. He meant that the overall vibe is not going to be focused. I assume he meant the overall vibe is not going to be focused on cameo corn. More story focused, but it's not that's not going to happen at all. Superman showing up at Peacemaker is a big deal. That's not just that might actually be a literal important plot point, not just a throwaway cameo. I think that might be the interpretation of the Gun Nuts.
A liar. Also over the weekend,
Good
I
God.
ended up getting this back.
This is like I have to do like a 30-minute reaction just to his video, just to get to the kaiju stuff. Come on, Aaron. You could have multiple videos on these topics. All right, let me bring it back.
Batman Death in the Family collection that has a Death in the Family plus A Lonely Place of Dying, which was when I first started reading comics, was back with the Death in the Family. And I had all those original issues for both stories.
Holy crap.
I actually gave them away shortly before I got married. Around 96 or so, I gave 2 long boxes away. And I wish I had all that stuff because it had all the Nightfall and everything else. Oh, my goodness.
I'm trying. Okay.
Now, for those who missed my video yesterday, Christopher McQuarrie says he included Green Lantern in his pitch for a Man of Steel sequel.
All right. I skimmed ahead. I have to go forward because he doesn't get to it till the end of the video. All right.
Take out my single issues because I've got them all backed, boarded, and put away, and I have them cataloged now, and I don't want to take them out. I'd rather read these stories through some of these hardbound collections. Pretty awesome stuff.
Okay.
All right, so I just hit over at X because I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. Someone asked James Gunn, and James Gunn confirms that Superman runtime is not 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's not correct. It's almost totally locked, meaning we're just finishing a couple.
And then I was right. He then corrected someone. It's not 2 hours and 20 minutes either. I'm like, good God. Do you have to correct everything on the internet? It's very annoying. It's very annoying. Okay. He has to respond to too much.
A couple of VFX shots over the weekend, but that's not the running time. So we don't know exactly what it's going to be. But there was a commercial today released for one of the toys, and I'm going to show you what was posted and how I think that it shows the hypocrisy of the fan base. So what we have here is a commercial where it shows that Superman and the
it's the hypocrisy. It's okay to kill crack Zod's neck, but it's not okay to crack Zod's neck, but killing a kaiju's fine.
Justice team that they're putting together, they do actually talk about them in the commercial.
We don't know that he's dead. To be fair, Aaron, we don't know that he's dead. He might just have exploding goop exploding from his stomach. We don't know if that kills the kaiju. I don't know what happens to kaiju.
They are going to kill this kaiju.
No, we don't know that. We don't know that.
And I said, Superman is going to kill the kaiju. Superman doesn't kill.
Superman's gonna kill the kaiju. He just punched him and he lost his goop. Superman punched the kaiju and he lost his goop. We don't know if that's gonna kill him.
Isn't that what the Zack Snyder haters have been telling us for the last 10 years?
It was an uppercut. He uppercut the kaiju. And he relieved himself. We don't know if that's what kaiju do. We don't know what type of kaiju this is. We don't know if that's the end of the kaiju.
Here is a commercial where it shows that Superman and the Justice team that they're putting together, they do actually talk about them in the commercial, but it shows that they are going to kill this kaiju. And I said, Superman is going to kill the kaiju. Superman doesn't kill. Isn't that what the Zack Snyder haters have been telling us for the last 10 years, that Superman doesn't kill? Well, he's going to kill the kaiju. Okay. Some of the responses. Hope he doesn't, especially if it's got a kid. Oh, ho, 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 ho. We still don't know if the kaiju is immortal.
Yeah.
Says John Williams theme, underwear on the outside, goofy, awkward Clark, toy commercials like they had when I was a kid. This is just a trash movie wrapped up in a layer of nostalgia and memorabilia, which is exactly what it is. Someone said, take it to the zoo and said, also, he should lure it away from Metropolis instead of fighting the city. I'm told by my betters that is not how Superman acts. Exactly. Someone said it's hilarious for him. It's hilarious to him, the uproar he's seen the tweets and had to chime in. Meanwhile, Henry Cavill is snapping next. Someone posted that. It's kind of the whole point of my post. Have you seen the movie, dumbass? This is the kind of people that I
love those kind of people. That's internet people.
I end up getting over here. Dude, it doesn't even pass the hard test.
Some of those people?
It doesn't matter. Someone said, you are right. He should tuck the kaiju. He should tuck the kaiju in the bed.
If the baby kaiju, tuck the kaiju in bed, read him a bedtime story, and teach him morality of treating human life, because we all know that kaijus have the intelligence of humans. I like that.
Read a bedtime story and teach him the mortality of treating human life, because we all know that kaijus have.
I really want, if you're a fan of Aaron Fischer, I don't know how, I don't watch all his videos. So if he reads Twitter comments, that is like gold. He should just keep reading Twitter comments all day long and recording it.
Intelligence of humans. Someone said it's an effing toy.
Yes.
And someone said this will fly in the face of everyone who said Superman doesn't kill. They will accept it all of a sudden because Gunn can do no wrong. Right?
I do agree with the criticisms when Gunn does it. The Gunn nuts are like, okay, just because it's their team. I do think that, because there's a lot in this trailer that reminds me of the last version of Superman. And there's a lot that's new too, but I think James Gunn borrowed just the right amount from every version of Superman.
That's exactly what's going on. It said he's going to rip the monster's torso open and spill his guts all over the place. It's going to be funny, and all of the gun tards will laugh and clap. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I'm not calling him that.
The hypocrisy of what is happening now, what is acceptable for Gunn to do and not acceptable for Zack Snyder to do, it's deafening. It's absolutely deafening at this stage. All right, so what do you guys think about Superman killing in a film, killing the kaiju? What do you?
I'm fine. I have more problems with him killing a kaiju than Zod. I think Zod was completely justified. I love that scene. And I wouldn't be, if the context of the movie goes that way, kill the kaiju. But I don't think he's going to kill the kaiju. And I don't necessarily, Aaron, I don't know if that toy commercial that you see, I mean, him spilling his guts doesn't mean he's dead. I don't know what it means.
What do you think about the changes that are obviously happening and all of the remarks that James Gunn made that are apparently just not true? I really hope that he gets to release the movie that he wanted to release. I want to see what his vision was going to be.
See,
that would be a good indication for the audience.
Something, and I'll leave it off there. Go check out Aaron's video. It'll be in the description below. And yeah, I would love to interview Aaron for sure. It'd be very interesting. What was I going to say? I don't know. I don't know. I lost my. I did this reaction right at the end. I'm about to head to bed. I'm looking forward to the movie. The toy commercial. I'm not gonna read too much into it. I think the toys look fun though. I like the toys. I'm more interested in the Hoth creature, the Wampa, because the arm is ripped off on that toy. Really interesting what Hasbro and Mattel are doing to these play sets. Very interesting. But yeah, I'm thinking about like Batman Returns. There were toys there were toy play sets and stuff had nothing to do with the movie. So it's not uncommon for that to happen. But let me know your thoughts. And I'll see another video. Have a good one. And let me know who I should react to next, because I am having fun doing a few of these reactions again. See you next time.